When Jesus' tomb was opened for the first time, scientists made a groundbreaking discovery. Modern-day Israel is home to some of the most revered holy sites in Christianity, but none are more important than the Church of Holy Sepulchre, said to house Jesus' tomb. After centuries of decay from water and structural damage, scientists finally began a long overdue renovation of the tomb in October 2016. When they removed a slab of marble for the first time in hundreds and hundreds of years, lying beneath it was a never-before-seen discovery. According to the New Testament's chronicle, Jesus' tomb was built close to the place of his crucifixion. The structure was meant to enclose both his body and the cross that he passed away on. And while the exact site of the burial has not been proven archaeologically, historians do know one thing for certain about the present-day Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The first church on the site was built by the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great in about 326 CE, and was meant to house his own burial site. First, Constantine's mother, Helena, was sent to find the exact location of Jesus' tomb from 3 centuries before. With the help of a bishop named Eusebius, she believed she'd found it. From the church site that the Emperor Constantine's mother established, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre lasted through various iterations, boosted greatly by centuries of crusaders. The church's bell tower collapsed in 1545, so Franciscan friars completed their own renovation on the long-neglected church. This included one of the earliest cleanups of the edicule, the shrine housing Jesus' tomb. In order to preserve the site, and to prevent eager pilgrims from touching the actual bedrock where Jesus' body once sat, the monks installed a slab of marble over the limestone burial. Archaeologists had wanted to excavate further into the burial to see if there was any archaeological proof that Jesus' body was once there. A modern restoration of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was about several centuries overdue. Part of the difficulty stems from the fact that 3 major Christian denominations, Roman Catholic, Armenian Apostolic, and Greek Orthodox, share custodianship over the church, and they don't always agree with one another. For example, a debate has lingered for 2.5 centuries over whether or not to remove a ladder of Lebanon cedar that sits above the entrance to the church. The object has been affectionately nicknamed the removable ladder, and is still there today. Differences aside, the priests decided it was time for a clean-up. In 1947, during British colonial rule, iron scaffolding was placed around the Ottoman-style edicule to keep it from crumbling to the ground. Undertaken by a team of scientists from Athens University, this restoration would also include an archaeological excavation of Jesus' tomb. The growing field of biblical archaeology aims to reveal the historical truth of events and places described in the Bible. Modern technology would provide unprecedented access to information that has taunted Bible enthusiasts for their entire lives. The main question that scientists were looking to answer, was the current tomb at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre really the final resting place of Jesus? Centuries of wars and natural disasters made scientists highly suspicious that the edicule really housed Jesus' tomb. A few decades after he passed away, Jerusalem was completely destroyed, razed to the ground in 70 CE during the First Jewish-Roman battle. To further complicate matters, despite what's written, there is only physical evidence of 2 crucifixions carried out by the Romans during the time of Jesus, of which one was found near Jerusalem in 1968, the other in Italy, 2018. In addition, the church's known history made it unlikely that the burial remained in the same location. After all, it had been destroyed or altered by centuries of successive conquerors. Now, the plan was to remove mold and water damage, to reinforce the exterior of the edicule that was starting to crumble, and finally to excavate Jesus' tomb. More recent excavations around the site gave them hope that they could well find something huge. From excavations conducted at the church during the 1970s, researchers were able to determine that the Holy Sepulchre structure was built in a way intended to cover up the ruling religion that had come before Christianity. The site Helena and Eusebius had declared to be Jesus' tomb had first been a temple to the Roman gods Jupiter or Venus, built by the Emperor Hadrian centuries before Constantine's reign. The leader of the excavation in the 70s, a Franciscan priest and archaeologist named Virgilio Canio Corbo, surmised that the church's enclosure would have been roughly in the same place as it was during the time of Hadrian. Though Corbo's hypothesis has been contested, luckily more evidence surfaced to further support the claim that this was indeed the place of Jesus' tomb. Additional excavations undertaken during the 20th century revealed groundbreaking discoveries at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This included several rock tombs, and an ancient limestone quarry thought to be the remains of Constantine's first church from 326, a description that supports the one given in the Bible. These finds shed an important light on the current accepted location of Jesus' tomb. There were more discoveries that could provide a cogent archaeological record throughout the depth of the chamber. Analysis of mortar taken from the southern wall of the tomb corroborated with the dating of the marble slab and cover. For the team from Athens and the monks who had the chance to oversee the work, it was positively electrifying news. With the restoration completed, it is unlikely that the marble slabs and burial chamber will be opened again any time in near future. The results from the excavation revealed new facts that will forever change the way that people all over the world look at Christianity's holiest site. Even some of archaeology's biggest critics of the authenticity of the site of Jesus' tomb have had a change of heart regarding the recent discoveries. Famed Israeli archaeologist Dan Bahart, who questioned the veracity of Corbo's claim that the church was roughly in the same place that it was when it was built nearly 2,000 years ago, said that there is now no reason to doubt the veracity of the site. Though the Protestant world and many archaeologists believe the actual site was outside the old city at a place called the Garden Tomb, the findings of the 2016 excavations convinced more than a few experts. Undoubtedly, archaeologists and historical truth seekers will continue to make groundbreaking discoveries that uncover new truths about the physical history behind the stories in the Bible. But for true believers, finds like the one made by the team from Athens are inconsequential. One trip to Jerusalem is proof enough. Encountering the city for the first time, it is difficult not to be overwhelmed by the questions of history. Once inside the old city, visitors will see countless pilgrims rejoicing, crying, blessing their children, and experiencing their own form of religious epiphanies. for them. The authenticity of the sites are unshakable, and the answers that they seek